Good morning, everybody. It's Nikki Jordan here on day 14 of receiving, and I am fully aware that I have not posted in a number of days. And there's a reason for that, and I'm going to tell you what happened. Well, so on day 8, I think I started to recognize something. I recognized, or maybe it was even before day 8, it was day 7, which is a day of magic, remember? I recognized that in a number of years, let's say 15, I had never had an office. So I had all these plans, and I have all these plans, all these ideas of what I'm going to be doing, with my website, with my classes, with my blog, which got totally ignored, with, easy to do vlogging, harder to do blogging sometimes. And I had all these ideas, but something was stuck. And because this class is about receiving, and I had done 10 weeks of demanding more of myself, which I highly recommend you do that. That is a class I could do for 10 weeks with other people, actually, after having done it for 10 weeks myself. Demanding more of yourself. So I recognized that I didn't have an office for 15 years. So anyone who knows me knows that I moved 12 years ago. I think it was 12 years ago. Yeah, I moved, my hair's a mess, 12 years ago from just over a mile away to where I live now. And in that place, I had an amazing studio. I could teach in the studio. I could teach 9 people in that studio. We lived in a different room as our bedroom, not the master room. It was a perfect studio with hardwood floors and windows and walls. And I moved into this house on a hill that has smaller rooms all along a hill. It's got views. The other one had them, but this has better views. But that's not why we came here. We moved for the school system. So in losing a space that was not just a studio, I also lost an office. There was an ability to have an office there that isn't as clear in this house, especially during COVID. But my husband always had an office for his after-work photography and everything. And I always had a guest room for people, and my stuff was all around the house. All around the house. And I realized the other day that the reason why the house is often such a mess is that my work, because I'm responsible for all the finances and everything, and the legal stuff, and as well as my own business, which has many aspects to it that create a lot of junk. And then I needed an office. And so this was 30 days of receiving, and I received the information that I needed an office, that I needed to kick out the guest room, right? Okay, it's COVID, holidays, there's not going to be that many guests. There's one, and he said, where am I going to sleep? And I said, I don't know. I can no longer worry. We have a blow-up mattress then. I can no longer worry about everybody else. I have to actually move forward. And this is what happened when I made that realization. When I made that one realization, you cannot imagine the magic that happened. So I got up on that Sunday, hey Maruna, and I moved the guest room out. I moved the guest room out, and I moved desks in. And on a Monday, I ordered furniture. Not expensive furniture. Some of it, ordered bookshelf. I ordered another desk. I ordered a few other things. And one would expect them, as it listed, that they would show up about 18 days later, 12 days later, 10 at the closest, right? So I was going to have to wait for my office to show up that long. And here's what happened. I got a message the very next day, that my desk would be delivered that day. Not 10 days, not 18 days like it said. It was the very next day. So on the 7th, I made an order. On the 8th, my desk showed up. I had to put it together. On the 9th, on the 9th, 2 days later, my bookshelf showed up. I had to put that together. And then everything had showed up within 3 or 4 days. So something that I had been needing for 15 years showed up in a few days during COVID when all the deliveries, and during the holidays when all the deliveries are slow. So what was it that made this happen? This was unbelievable to me. So I listened to my house. Okay, now I don't always listen to my house, but I have certainly been listening to my house recently. My house, it's your place that you live, and you're supposed to look at it as something that will nurture you because it is a living thing. Like people like to decorate, right? Or they want it to feel a certain way. But oftentimes we forget about that once we've set it in its way it is. Now, my family happens to be one that moves around rooms, meaning we move into different rooms over a few years, and we change them, we change out furniture and stuff, but the house was speaking to me very loudly. But I had been responding to the house speaking to everyone else. And amazingly enough, even that, just in the last, this is not a time when we should be spending a lot of money, but we were. We got a new coffee table for our living room and gave away the other. We got a new buffet that was a Christmas present from my parents, a very expensive, nice one, that is something I will remember them. They were in their 80s forever. I mean, this is, I do that, you know, they give me something, a coffee maker. I remember them every day I make the coffee. It's all these wonderful things I have from my parents, and I tell them all the time, you give me something like this. You live 3,000 miles away from me. I don't get to see you very often, but I remember you every day. And of course, I have all the memories of everything. My family did tons of stuff together, of everything that we did. We went hiking all the time, biking. We did so many activities. But my house, like, was crying. It's like out with the old and in with the new. Zero sentimentality. Don't hold on to anything. The energy of the world is changing, and what you need is to be in that energy. So there were even chairs. I saw a chair at a store and I said, hey, where'd you get this chair? And they said, oh, we got it at this place. It's not very expensive. It's not a place that I would normally buy a chair. And so I went there and they had a huge sale. And but they were completely sold out. As soon as I got there, they were completely sold out. And I said, okay, you have this sale. Can I get a rain check on the sale? So that this is only like a month ago. Can I get a rain check on the sale so that I can get them for the same price? They said, sure, and you don't have to pay for it now. Yay. So then the store that gave me the rain check called on December 1st and said, we're going out of business. We're going out of business. You'll have to get the rain check from another store. I said, will they honor it? And they were so flustered. They said, don't worry. You don't even need the piece of paper. They'll honor it. Well, it turned out it was true. And by the time I got the chair, they showed up just a couple weeks later. They were supposed to show up in 6 weeks. They were not only on sale, but for some reason, the guy gave me even more of a discount. So now I have living room, and the day they came in, I got a message. Somebody let me borrow their van. I drove over and got them so no one else could, because remember, I couldn't pre-order them. And then when I got there, they somehow accidentally charged me less. So in the span of 1 week, 5-day period, not even a whole week, I got a brand new office, which now houses all of my stuff instead of having it be all around the house. It's only about me. The guests will have to figure that out if they ever show up anymore. And the living room is completely transformed, and the dining room. And so my house is saying, look, you demanded to receive, and we knew you did 30 days of receiving, and we knew that you needed to receive this first. Everybody asked me what I want for Christmas. I said, I already got it. I don't need anything. I mean, I might like a little present, but I don't need anything. And so the reason why I say this is that the expectation of the order in which I needed to focus on my business, I needed to focus on my website, I needed to focus on getting my emails out. There was a pressure and an expectation that things had to happen in a certain timeline. There literally was a sense of urgency in my world. There was a sense of urgency. And that urgency was not the number one thing, but I, in my mind, was making it that way. But as soon as I listened and became aware that my space was more urgent than everything else, the universe delivered me something that is not happening in this time. It is just not happening that people get things the next day from a warehouse far away. Plus, when damaged furniture came, I had a coffee table that was damaged, they immediately replace it. And they said it would take like 3 to 4 weeks. No, it only took a week. So there is a space opening up because I was willing to receive something that I was willing to let go of any projection of where I was going, any expectation of where I was going, any sense of urgency that I was going to lose part of my business or my future, or the money you can make right now during the holidays if I didn't get on that. Instead, I spent money and opened up a space that will create more freedom for me in the future to do all of those things, which I know will happen because in my former life, when I had tons of my own space, it did. Plus, it allowed me to get rid of a lot of perfection about what I need to be doing or how things need to be rolling out. Now, a lot of times in the holidays, people don't expect to get a lot done, but there is a push. There's often a push. And for some reason, whenever I try to push, something pushes back at me and says, no. Right? There is a different time and place, perhaps, for what I do. Are people willing to receive right now? I don't know. But I'm asking you, what have you been holding at bay? If you asked for help, I have said in the past, sorry, that was a phone call. I have said, are you willing to receive the help that you ask for? Most people are willing to control the help, or it's easier for them to do something themselves, harder for them to let something else do something for you. So every night since I posted on the 7th and 8th, I've asked the helper entities to take care of everything at night, just to take care of everything at night. And I wake up and my body is totally blank and free. My heart, my throat, the front and back of my heart, my head, my belly, everything is free. And then all this magic showed up. So I wonder, what are you willing to do with that? Are you willing to assume that something else can take care of you, even if it's something that you don't see? And are you willing to let another human being take care of you? Are you willing to ask them for something that you assume right now they can't do? And you make it real and true that they cannot do this. And so they never will be able to. You will always leave them incapacitated to be able to help you, right? So what if you let go of control? How much of that is really control? Perfectionism, assumption other people are no good at it. And so you enable that to continue, right? What if you started by asking for magic from the universe? What if you started by asking, what's willing to help me here? And will you help me receive it, right? Will you help me receive it? So I'm literally so excited. Now I have to make sure that I don't fall into my typical trap of distracting myself. I desire to create a routine for myself, which that routine will probably not be the same every day, but the idea that there is a time where I sit and I focus on this one thing for 20 minutes. And then maybe I have 3 of those things in a day, that those are the 3 things that I focus 20 minutes on, and then see what happens, because this will open up an energy that I haven't had in a long time, right? Because there are things I want to do different than I've been doing. And I know, because in the past, I know what can happen when you do it that way. I just fell into a role. How many roles have you created for yourself? How many roles have you stuck there that anyone else can try to help you change it, but you don't demand more of yourself to release it? so that you don't get it. Anyway, food for thought for today. I'm sorry I haven't posted in a while, but I was too excited about what was going on, right? So let me know, how's it going for you? Are you actually receiving? What are you stuck with? Let me know what you're stuck with. That's a place where I can bite on something, come up with some ideas. All right, have a nice day.